Being a vessel kind of gives you the strength knowing that the universe is working for you and you're not alone, and you have this power that you can't really see but you can always tap into, that's so massive and can overcome anything that we feel is limited in life, or like we can't do because whatever. None of that is real. None of that is real. We can do whatever we want. Like, we just gotta tap in.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Goddess Hey!
Episode 33.
Woo! I'm Sadie.
I'm Juliet.
We have a very special guest today.
Miss Destiny Fortier. Yay! Welcome to Goddess Hangs.
Yeah, thank you, ladies. I'm so excited.
So we met Destiny at the All of Us app, which we have mentioned before, and make sure you're downloading. At the All of Us launch party, the app launch party, and she sat down and we were immediately enchanted, and she's like, yeah, I'm retired, and then continue saying other things. Like, it was this most casual thing in the world, and we were like, Destiny, we need to get to know you.
We need to get to know you. And what we do know about Destiny, and what you must know about Destiny as we jump into this conversation, is that she is an author, she is an investor, she is a visionary, she is just a stunningly beautiful, glowing goddess of a woman. And so it was a no-brainer that we would have her on the show and like want to be your friend and get to know you. So we're very happy you're here.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Honestly, the week I met you guys was like the craziest week of my life. And
really?
Yeah, honestly.
Before or after you met us?
You guys were the cherry on top of my crazy week.
Okay.
Honestly.
The turning point, or the
confirmation.
Or the craziest part. Okay.
The confirmation.
So what happened?
Oh, it's such a long story. It's kind of crazy. But basically, I had clarity around my life purpose that week.
Wow.
In the craziest way.
Okay.
But you guys just confirmed it because they pulled my cards for me, and I pulled from the Lemurian deck.
Yes.
And it was just, one of the things you guys said was that I'm here to speed up the timeline, and that's been like my focal point this whole journey. So I'm so excited.
I love that. Yeah. So we are so curious to know, like, what your journey, what your life story has been like. Just, I was going to say, as if we just met you, which we sort of did. Walk us through like who you are in your life.
I know, because when people hear me say I retired at 30, they're like, what? Tell me everything.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll tell you. So, okay. So I was born and raised in a single parent home with my mom. She's a teacher. I had 4 sisters, still have 4 beautiful sisters. I was the youngest. But you can imagine a teacher's salary is really low. So I had to sell like beef jerky and Otter Pops just to get lunch money a lot of the times. And so from a very early age, I learned the value of business and exchanging things. So then, I've always been like kind of a smart person, but I've always also been kind of lazy. Like, I don't really, honestly, I don't like to work very hard, but I do like to accomplish things, you know?
Sure.
So like, that's been kind of like my life. Like, I find the easy way to kind of get things done. So like in high school, I was an IB, but I took like the IB is like an international AP kind of thing. Yeah, but I took like dance and like the easier math class to get the diploma. And then in college, I went to UCLA.
I did too.
What?
I
was psychology 2012. I graduated.
Oh, I graduated 2013 or 14.
What?
In World Arts and Cultures. I was a WAC major.
You're WAC.
Yeah.
Oh.
I should know the... okay, wait. I graduated high school in 09, 10, but I did 5 years of college because I transferred. So it would have been 2014.
We're so close in age. Okay, a lot of my friends were WAC because I was on NSU Modern. Do you know
yes.
Yeah. I was a hip hop dancer.
Is that the dance group that would practice in the parking lot?
Yes.
Okay.
I love this.
I would always walk right by you guys and go to my car.
Yeah. Love them. That was the best time of my life. But that's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Continue.
So I studied psychology because it was easy, and I was like, I want my diploma. So, anyways, graduated from college, got my first job, but living in LA, it's very expensive. So I was making $48K starting, which is, they say that's good. but honestly, it's not. You're still, I
Yeah.
still was broke. And so I was like, okay, how can I figure this out? So I did a lot of YouTube searching on like how to make money, and everything that came up was either investing in stocks or real estate. And I was like, I can't do real estate. And I just felt like that was too much at the time. So I just got into stocks, and I just learned how to day trade and long trade. And so I did a lot of YouTube. I call it YouTube University. A lot of studying, got into different groups, and just developed a skill that really gave me a lot of peace of mind, so that I know no matter what I do, I'm good because I have this skill. So, fast forward, I stayed at my job for a long time because of fear, and I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to find something better. But I was still learning and growing while I was at my job, and then, I wanted to retire actually 2 years ago, but my job was like, no, if you stay, we'll pay you more and then you can work from home. And I was like, obviously.
Yeah.
So I didn't because of fear. But then I just decided this year, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. Like, it was a little bit toxic, my old job, because my boss was a little bit like toxic. Her personality, we didn't really mesh, but we like figured it out. It's kind of like when you're in a
What
relationship.
job doesn't?
Yeah.
I think every job almost that I've worked.
You have to.
Not great.
It's not always. It's so much drama, but it's. So I was like, yeah, it's time for me to go. And so since then, I've just had a lot more time to kind of like go within and do a lot of like self-healing and figure out what it is I want to do, because I had a lot of luxury to spiritually find myself. And so the week I met you guys was the week that I gained more clarity, because my when I retired, I had like 2 years of salary and I had a skill. That's what I knew, but I didn't know what I was going to do. I just knew I have skills. I also did like drop shipping and Airbnb and stuff. Like I have other things, but like day trading is like my skill. But that week, y'all, was so crazy. So now I'm just excited for the future and what's going to come.
What was the other position that you retired from?
I was in marketing.
Oh, okay.
I was in marketing. It was like a Chinese data company, super random, but I was able to travel with them, and it wasn't that hard, so I had a lot of time to study. But yeah.
I love what you said about being like so straightforward about being lazy.
Yeah.
Because it's such a there's such a like negative thing about that, but really sometimes lazy quote unquote people like find a faster way to do things or an easier way to do things, or they find like a shortcut, which if you flipped it around a different way, it's like, oh, that's a really efficient person, that's a really resourceful person.
Way smarter. Tell me who actually is like, I would love to work 80 hours a week so that I can be a millionaire or whatever it is. No, all of the millionaires, billionaires, they've figured out how to do more in less time.
Exactly. Like the system that we've set up in this society is you work years and years and years just so the last 20 years of your, or however long years of your life, you can relax. It's like, no, this is so backwards. And you're not going to tell me how, I'm not going to fit to this standard.
Right.
And so a lot of entrepreneurs and investors are extremely lazy, but it's not lazy. It's more so they're passionate and focused, and they're finding the shortcuts, like you said. So as an entrepreneur now, I'm really passionate about showing people those shortcuts, because I really want to help raise the collective consciousness of everyone at this, especially right now. Things are really crazy.
Things are very crazy. I love that though. I'm like, let's just embrace that we want to be lazy. We're on the same page. We're always just trying to figure out like, how do I scale what I'm doing right now? How do we just need to reach more people? And like, that's where it's at. Fuck yeah, let's all be lazy.
You have no idea.
Let's embrace it.
You're literally speaking my language, because okay. I'm very passionate about taking complex things and making them really basic so everybody can understand. So one example of that is I wrote a children's book about stocks, just to kind of bridge that gap and speed up the timeline.
I'm gonna buy it for myself.
I mean, honestly, it's for all ages, but it rhymes and there's pictures, so it makes
rhymes.
Yeah, it rhymes. It's like Dr. Seuss style for stocks, so it helps people like remember things. So it's like I really am passionate about speeding up the timeline, like you guys told me. And another thing, the project that I'm working on that I gained clarity about was literally what you guys want to do. It's like figuring out how to scale up and maybe how to file a company and business 101, marketing 101, how to create an app, like what are the resources, but also the mentality behind it, because that's really 90% of the struggle, is like getting people out of a fear mindset into a love mindset. So I want to package that together and give it out to people, and then also at the same time offer them funding if they need it in order to scale up. So I have a team of investors who are excited to find people who are ready to be creative and really solve a lot of like huge issues that we have right now. I think a lot of people are not in a creative space because they're so afraid of like the world today. So they're just trying to survive. But if they knew they had funding, and if they knew people wanted them to be creative to solve some real issues, or whether it's like taking chemicals out of products, or maybe figuring out what the hell happened in the water with that fire, like whatever, like if they knew they had people that wanted them to win so we could try to heal the earth, like maybe they would elevate into a creative space and like help solve issues. So yeah, and scaling up is a huge part of that. So I'm excited about that.
Everything you're saying is so magical. I'm just like I'm like, oh wait, I have to say something now.
We're cut to me and Sadie like reading your children's book in bed together, cuddled up with tea. I know it's gonna happen.
I'm muttering the rhymes as I'm trying to like move my stocks around. I'm like,
yeah, it's honestly
when stocks go from red and out of the black.
But that's good.
Oh my gosh, I want to hear more. So you talked about like how the mindset is like the biggest piece.
Absolutely.
So like, what are like pour your wisdom on me.
Okay.
What was the turning point in your mindset? Because you spoke about, I could have retired, 2 years before I actually did, and it was fear. So what flipped that switch for you? Because that's what we're very passionate about. We talk about that all the time. It's like, you have the fear, you have to go for it anyways. You can't wait for the fear to go away. So what do you feel like was the turning point for you?
Yeah, honestly, okay, so last year I was extremely depressed. Like I which a lot of people, when they have their spiritual awakening, that's like where they come from, the bottom.
Dark night of the soul.
Whoa.
We don't know that often.
Yes, I had a few of those, to the point where my family had to check in on me. They're like, "Are you okay?" And I was not okay. But it was a combination. It was like my entire world was like crashing in. So anyways, I had to figure out how to like breathe again. So I started with sounds, and this is before I decided to retire. This was just like, my job was annoying. Me and my boyfriend were breaking up slowly. I had tried this venture and with family and friends, and it did not work out. So everybody was upset. It was just like a lot of things. So, and then 2020.
Just the cherry on
top.
2020.
Then 2020. So like I was just trying to breathe, but I was overwhelmed with like embarrassment, shame, guilt, fear of every single part of my life. So I learned to breathe by listening to sound therapy first. So like I would listen to it while I was sleeping to kind of and if you don't know, sound therapy is just like different frequencies and hertz that release different levels of dopamine and serotonin in your brain, so you can feel joy and balance. And then I was watching a lot of anime, and I had therapy and I was doing yoga, and I was just starting there. And then I watched the movie Soul. Oh. And that scene, okay, you know how the girl comes from, she's like, Earth is so ghetto, I don't want anything to do with it. And then she comes and she eats pizza, and she's like,
this is the second time this scene is coming up on this podcast.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys already know.
Required viewing.
It is.
Soul.
Honestly, it's changed so many people's lives, including mine. I saw that and I was like, you know what? Like, when we pass on, I don't know if we can eat or smell or go places that we haven't already been, or anything to do with our five senses. So while I'm here, I want to have the best food, like see the most beautiful locations. Yes, go to concerts. Like, music is an energy that you can't deny. It's just like have the best conversations. And so I was like, I'm leaving my job. And I want to live in heaven on earth. Like, I was actually a little bit delusional about it at first. Like, 2020 is crazy, whatever. In my mind, I'm in heaven on earth, like, whatever. But then I realized, like, I had a lot of anxiety, like social anxiety and then just general anxiety. I realized that I kept having negative thoughts all the time. I'm like, this isn't heaven. This is like hell in my mind, you know? And then, so I was like, okay, let me figure out what's going on, because I need to get to the root of this. And just listening to different podcasts and reading different books, I kept seeing this thing about fear and love, and how we, as a society, we're learning to survive by surviving through fear. Like, our instincts are fear. Like, before it was predators that would attack us, so we always had to be like ready for anything and just surviving in that way. But now we don't really have predators, and we've replaced that with like workplace or society standards or friends or family. Just like, it's too much. It's almost as if we were in a room full of lions, like at all times, just overwhelmed with fear and negative thoughts. And so I was just like, anytime I have a thought that's everything is based from fear or love, and anytime I have a thought or a reaction or a pattern or behavior that is based from fear, I'm not going to allow that to dictate my words or my actions or anything. I'm going to choose the love route, and just do everything I love, invest in what I love, do any business that I love, do business with people that I love, and speak with love and see with love, and just see how it goes. It's been amazing. What I've realized is that when you are always in a higher vibration of love and gratitude and curiosity and joy, like, the universe responds much quicker, and like you can manifest things much more fast. Things come to you much more quickly and cuter, and it's like you meet the right people just like on a dime. It's random.
It's like magic.
It is like it's like a red carpet has been rolled out.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah. So in between that time, I decided to retire, and I'm just trusting the universe and just going with it and learning and growing.
Oh my God, I love that. Is there one, like, if you had an affirmation or like a saying or something that you always tell yourself, it doesn't have to be just one or like the one, but like one that Sadie and I love, like something I switched this year, I always said like my hard-earned money. And what I say more this year, it's like, oh, like my easily earned money, or like my effortlessly earned money. Like, just like little shifts. Are there any like little shifts that you have made that come to mind?
Yeah, one really powerful affirmation that I have is like, and you can insert in the blank anything, but you can say, I have the best body and it gets better and better every day, or I have the best bank account and it gets better and better every day, so that you're saying you already have it, and you're opening yourself up to more growth. And in that way, manifestations become more clear, because I really think it's like the universe is listening. Like, it's crazy. It's like, you know, it's just like, I know. But it's almost like when you know how you call people on a cell phone and you just start talking and there's no wire. It's just like you're clearly can hear everything. I think there's like receptions of different frequencies in the universe that just...
I think we're all like little broadcast towers. Yeah. And we send out frequencies and we receive frequencies, and we're exchanging frequencies, but then it's also all going, you know, and we can direct it. We can direct it at our bodies or our bank accounts or whatever we please. But it's really amazing, because I think you'll start doing this stuff, and I think like you'll agree with this, where like for a while you're like, I don't know, is this really working? Is anything happening? And then all of a sudden things start rolling, and it's like this snowball, and the snowball gets bigger and bigger, and
momentum
happening faster and faster. And you're like, whoa, it does work.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
It's spiritual compounding. Am I right? Yes. Investor. Sorry, that was so corny.
Investors.
That was so corny.
Yeah.
I loved how you talked about the cell phone example, because when I do medium readings and people say, can you tell them this for me? Can you tell my loved ones this for me? And I'm like, try to imagine it like you are on a phone call with somebody and the reception gets weird and you can hear them perfectly clearly, but when you try to talk back, they're like, I'm sorry, I just can't hear you. And I was like, that's sort of what it's like when we're talking to spirit. Like, they can hear it perfectly clearly on their end. And that's sort of just how I feel like it is in my experience. And then it's just about like raising your vibration so you can like match the frequency. But
that's deep.
I think we're all little cell phones buzzing around. And yeah, we love manifestation, and I don't think it's a coincidence that people who have like done these amazing things at any age, but especially so young, like are all sort of on the same page about this.
Yeah.
Like I don't know any like bazillionaires or like highly successful, happy, fulfilled people who are like, yeah, I don't know, it was just totally random. Like, you know,
I never thought I'd be able to do it, but here we are. Yeah. I really doubted myself the whole time.
I was negative from the start. Like you
no,
you don't hear that.
I've been meeting a lot of, like I said, the people that are on the same page that have been successful or are grinding or whatever, and it's like I can meet them and I don't even have to explain who I am because they're so on the same page. It's so crazy. So yeah, totally.
I love that then we all find each other.
I know.
Too. Like, crazy? We didn't know Alicia. It was like a friend in Alaska that asked us if we wanted to do that launch party, right? So then we met you. Like, it's just very like, how did we end up there with you and meet you?
Wow.
How did we... I don't know, we have some stuff coming up where we're like, how did we end up in the exact right place, right time to meet that person? It's just...
Honestly,
we're little magnets for each other.
And I needed to meet you guys because the timing, oh my gosh, the timing of that was crazy. Plus, I talked to other people at that party and they were like, have you gotten read? And I was like, yeah. They were like, what the hell? Like, first of all, I was like, I feel that you guys invaded my life in the best way. But no, honestly, everybody was just like, they were so on point with everything. It's crazy. And I was like, I know. What the hell was that? But it was great.
It feels so amazing to hear. And to hear you still repeat pieces of what we said to us, because every single reading is so special to us. But like that night we were doing so many, so like I don't remember exactly what we said to you, but
I remember exactly.
You're sitting here and I have chills the whole time because I'm like, oh my god, we made a difference. Like, you don't always get that when you're giving the readings, like how it can be so significant. So it's so nice to hear.
First of all, it was crazy because the other two things you guys said, I need to get boundaries. You said that some people were going to start hitting me up because they see me escalating in life.
That.
Yeah. And literally 2 days later, you were like, I see you on a phone telling them, like, being like, why are you hitting me after literally 2 days later that happened. I was like, wow. And then you also said I need to detox every part of my life, like a vibe detox, which I've been doing. I don't eat meat or drink soda, but the makeup I need to get into. But and then you guys said I have ancient future knowledge and I'm here to speed up the timeline, and that's literally been my mantra since that day.
Oh,
it's like so sexy. I love it.
It is very sexy. I can't believe we said that.
wow.
Like that. Wow, go on.
Oh, I'd like a reading from us.
I think also like some stuff when you're like tapped in and you're doing your reading, like it's not like your brain with the information, so I'm like, I blacked out, I don't remember what I said, you know what I mean?
Wow, that's like, deep. No, that's
just like
deep.
Saying stuff to the person.
Yeah,
but
you
it's
channel.
Not me, Sadie.
You're a vessel.
You. Yeah, so I'm just like, oh, that sounds amazing. Good for me for saying that.
I love it. I feel the same way. I'm not tapped in like you guys, but sometimes people are like, I remember a conversation, especially lately. They're like, I remember a conversation. I'm like, dang, I said all that? Okay. Or I listen back to, like, I did one other podcast and I listened back and I'm like, who was that? But
just get in the zone.
Yeah. I've that's another mantra actually, is I am a vessel for the greatest good. It's like, it takes off that huge weight of feeling like, can I do this? Can I do that? No, girl, you are not alone. Like, spirit is with you and you can accomplish anything, and you have a task, whether it's like just to be a light and just enjoy your life or to do things for the greater good, whatever it is, like you're meant to do those things. So just be a vessel and just relax and enjoy the ride. That's
Yes.
that's what I would say.
Did you ever buy into, so I think, so my background is actually more in the music industry, and then it's not that I've totally pivoted. I've got sort of like a foot in each world. I'm in that world still, and I'm in this world. But what you hear a lot in the music industry is like only 10% of the industry is women, and it's hard to climb as a woman, and climbing as a woman is hard. And for a long time, like I bought into that, and then I saw those results, and then I decided one day, like, well, somebody's doing it, and I stopped buying into it. So my question for you is like, I'm certain you've heard all sorts of statistics or people said stuff like that to you, and like how have you like transmuted that and like done what you're able to do?
I don't take that personally at all, especially being a Black woman. I hear a lot of statistics and I see a lot of things all the time, but my perspective has been very different because I've chosen things with more ease. So like stocks, stocks are not the easiest. There are a lot of expensive lessons. However, I don't care about who sees me as a Black woman or like who's judging me. It's like very cutthroat. Like you make it or you don't. You make the money or you don't. So I've never had to deal with like, what's interesting is on the other podcast, they asked me this similar question. They were like, they say 90% of Black women don't make as much as white men. And I'm like, I've never had that experience because in stocks or in drop shipping or Airbnb, like nobody really cares. But I know that's a real thing. It's just I've chosen to do different things. I'm grateful for the people that have experienced like kind of like hardship, like as far as trying to break through and break that statistic, because these are the people we need to bring the details of the problem to the surface so that we can create a creative solution together. But for me, I don't subscribe at all. I'm just I kind of look at things from a larger scope, like this is a problem that I'm seeing, and I try to understand, especially with psychology, I try to understand everyone's point of view and like how history has led us up to this point and how we can try to figure out a solution. But yeah, I don't take none of that personal. That's baggage. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna figure out a way.
What's your mindset around it? You're like, okay, I'm just gonna be me and
figure out a different way. And like if things are even if actually at my job I was the only foreigner, period. Like aside from being a Black girl, like it was a lot of Asian people, and I was literally the only foreigner, did not speak Chinese, and I still got that job. So like it's like for me, I don't even, because once you ingest those statistics, and those statistics can prevent you from even pursuing a thing, because you have that thought of like, majority of people don't succeed, so maybe I want to do it. No, it's a waste of time. Like just do whatever you want to do, but
I was just so curious.
Especially in like investment bank, like, well, you're not a banker, but you know what I mean? Like that's like a very male-driven, white male-driven world.
I know. There's literally not even a lot of women that I can find who I can follow. It's all the groups I'm in are majority men. But women in general, we're creators and we're so powerful. Oh my gosh. It's like they want us to not know the secret that we're so powerful.
Yeah, totally.
So
we're more intuitive. We're more so we know shit.
So we can use that strength to master anything.
Yeah.
Like I literally tap into my root chakra every time I trade. I trade with that power because I'm able to, I know it's intuitive. Like there's a lot of intuition in stocks. So I'd rather do that.
I love what you're doing because like I always view the people that are doing similar things to me and how successful they can be. I'm like, oh, I can do that too. So it's so important to have, like, you're a person that another little Black girl maybe or another woman is looking up to and saying like, oh, well, I see these numbers, but that doesn't matter. Like, look at freaking Destiny go. Like, she did it. There she is. There she's going. Like, I can do it too then. It's
so important.
You're a pioneer.
Oh, thank you.
A visionary.
A visionary.
I'm adding that to my bio.
I was trying to combine chakras and stocks. I was like, stokras. No.
Almost.
Chakras.
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 There might be something to
We've
that.
coined something new. Like you can lead a meditation to tap into your chakra.
Honestly, that's something that could happen. Honestly, because it's really like
I would join in.
I know, I would too.
it's a real thing. Like I literally focus on this area and then I meditate and then I attack. And it's like I do it almost like it's the numbers are my little babies. I'm like, come on, babe, go up.
Oh my God, I
You
love
could teach
that.
a whole
Yeah.
course about this. Totally. I would take it 100%. I wish I knew more
I would
about
too.
I actually give free courses. I used to before COVID.
Let's talk about that.
I just love to give back. So I used to give free stock courses just to people in the community who were just interested and didn't know where to start, because I find it's really frustrating because people don't really package things in a way where people can understand, especially men. They are airy. So yeah, I just like to deliver stuff. But yeah, that's a good idea. I would totally
I love the
that.
combination of just that like spiritual integration into that, because that's so powerful.
It is so I literally just tapped into this and I'm like, why haven't I been doing this the whole time? Because it's like I said earlier, being a vessel kind of gives you the strength knowing that the universe is working for you and you're not alone, and you have this power that you can't really see but you can always tap into, that's so massive and can overcome anything that we feel is limited in life or like we can't do because whatever. None of that is real. None of that is real. We can do whatever we want. Like, we just gotta tap in.
Yep.
You just made day trading and investing for the first time ever sound very sexy and sound very like spiritual and with the right mindset, like anything can be.
Yes. Even on Soul, they were like, oh, I gotta trade. Like, it was looked at as a bad thing. So for a while that kind of messed me up because I was like, But I think anything you do, it depends on your perspective. I don't have to trade every day. I don't trade every day because I love my peace of mind. But when I do trade, my perspective is I'm gonna have a good time. Like this is, I am very sexual. I'm a Scorpio, and so I have a lot of power.
Oh,
that's my.
I love Scorpios.
Okay,
We'll talk about that.
I've always been told I have a lot of like sexual power, so like I do channel that to.
It's the ultimate manifesting power.
Yeah. Honestly,
I've been working with sex magic lately myself.
Honestly, there's a lot to that I'm just learning about, but I'm here for it.
Yeah. Oh, it's so fun.
What are your Scorpio sun?
I know that I'm a Gemini something. I need to look up my horoscope stuff.
Okay, I was just curious if you knew.
Yeah, no, I don't. I know I have Gemini in it though, because Alicia has it too. And we're like, oh, no wonder we found each other. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Oh my gosh, what did I? Oh, so sometimes I don't know if it's too early to ask about this, like the UFOs or the spooky or
we like to ask everyone a few kind of silly questions. Like, have you ever seen a UFO?
Or had a
paranormal experience? Or we just like asking weird questions like that.
Let's find out.
First of all, I think the sky is pretty sus right now. That's number one.
Let's dive into that.
Yeah, sometimes the sky, and I've been trying to figure out how to say this because I said this to my family and they were like, girl.
We'll definitely be on board with you, don't worry.
Yeah.
Right, but everybody else. Okay, so I think they have manufactured the sky a bit. Like, I don't know if it's the chemtrails, because that's a real thing.
Yeah.
But sometimes... First of all, a couple months ago, I remember the sky was grayed out. Like, there were so many clouds that you couldn't see the sun for like weeks. And I was like, something's going on. And then when it cleared, some days the sky looked really fake, like an image. And I was just like, am I the only one noticing this? But other people noticed it, but it's like people online. So that's one thing. But another thing is I was driving from Stockton to LA, and I was driving through the Grapevine with my sister, and literally there was the moon and no other clouds in the sky except this one cloud that was like kind of sitting like this, and we were like, oh, that's strange. Then the cloud transformed into this like perfect arch over the moon, and it had like gradient lines in it, and it almost looked like there was like a window in the cloud. Like,
Whoa.
Yeah. And then a bunch of gray clouds just came and covered up everything, and then it was just covered. And I was like, I've never seen a perfect arch, like literally like a perfectly shaped, like engineered, like wow. And then gradients in the cloud. Like I've never seen lines in a cloud that like were horizontal. I was just like, what
a spaceship?
Yeah. Or something. Yeah. But I know that I'm not crazy because they've already confirmed aliens at this point. CIA, Department of Defense, they've already confirmed it. So I'm just like, okay, what's next?
We're big alien folks over here.
Big alien
Everyone
people.
there, here, we all love it. So
yeah, I'm here for it. I'm excited to see what happens.
I want to make t-shirts that say the sky is looking pretty sus lately. I love how you said that.
It is. I don't know if you guys
there's a lot of
noticed.
Interesting, you know, it's hard to balance like what's conspiracy, what's really going on.
Yeah.
But when you read about people that are keeping track of like the Schumann Residence, and then the sun will be like a crazy color one day, and very quickly like it'll get covered up as though like they don't want us to see that like the sun is like bright pink in the middle of the day, not at sunset or something.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of strange things going on.
What is the Schumann Residence?
It's
hard to explain.
It's the sun, or is it the Earth?
I think it's the sun.
It's almost a measure of the sun's like frequency in a way. Like
and that messes with the levels of water around the Earth, and because we're mostly water, it kind of messes with our emotional state too a little bit.
Oh.
And so when it's been like reaching higher and higher levels, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I dabble in reading about this a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is a part of how the collective consciousness seems to be raising. There's like this correlation that they try and make. And there's been days where the Schumann Residence is just completely flatlined, and they think that they don't want us to see certain fantastical things happening with it. It's who knows what's really going on.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm gonna look that
there's
up.
no reason it should be flatlined, right? Like the sun's always there. So it's just that, sus, as we would say.
Can I tell you what I pictured when you said the Schumann Residence? I was picturing like a very nice house.
Resonance, not
resonance. Oh, I heard the Schumann Residence. I was like, is this like a home in the hills? Okay. Mr. and Mrs. Schumann.
Keeping track of the sun. Yeah.
Okay, so you've seen suspicious skies.
Yeah. But UFOs, no. That was like the most I've seen.
Still very interesting though.
Yeah. I'm going to pay attention to that. I've not even for a millisecond thought of that, so I'm excited to look.
You guys pay attention to the sky. I swear there's something going on. I don't know how deep it is, but
there's something. Craig's very into the chemtrails and what's going on. He's like a grumpy old man. He's like, oh, the chemtrails are back out again today. I'm like, all right, I know, I see him too.
I try to tell Victor, and he's like, it's a plane. I'm like, okay, I'll talk to somebody else about this.
It is crazy, like how little we have real clouds in LA. It's almost always just chemtrails. And then like when I go back home to Wisconsin, that's where I'm from, and it's all like beautiful big fluffy clouds, and I'm just like, oh.
Same. Whenever I travel, I'm like, wow, these clouds look real. Like they look so different.
Like I forgot what real. I don't think we have real clouds here.
Or stars.
No.
Have you seen any ghosts? Any little ghosties? Spooks. I'm talking about spooks.
This year, I've seen like shadow people. Which is really interesting. But ghosts, no. I haven't had any.
They're in your ear. They're like, sell, buy, hold.
The spirits.
No, I feel like they just, like, I just see flashes of light or dark images, like, in the corner of my eyes. And then when I look, they're not there. So. Do
you, like, feel anything when you see that? Is it?
Yeah, there's, like, a moment where, like, my heart rate rises and, like, my blood gets a little hot. Then I'm like, I'm protected.
Yeah.
And the only people that are here are for my greatest good. Everybody else got to go.
Exactly.
And so then I'm fine.
The spirit world is so much about consent. So like if there's any low vibration, it's just like, I don't consent. And they really, it's very interesting because it's so simple, but people just don't know that, I feel like. But you literally just have to verbally and like, energetically set a boundary and it's there.
Yeah.
You're good.
I was afraid at first, though, because I was like, what the? It was like in the middle of my depression when I saw a couple, and I was like, oh, no. This is too much.
You're like, now I'm seeing things.
Honestly, but
First the sky, and now this.
honestly. But I came across some people that were like telling me, you just set a boundary. Like, this is a real thing. Don't ignore it. Just, walk in your power. And so I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. What's something that you wish young women, young Black women, like what's something you wish they knew or you could tell, like something that you've learned that you could tell them now?
Yeah. I would say don't subscribe to limited beliefs. So like, I feel like generational curses are really like generational habits. And so we just learn through our family how to survive. And so especially in the Black community, like we've learned, since we've come to America, we've learned things a very different way. Like punishment, the slave owners would whip us, and now in the Black community they're still whipping their kids, but it's from a place of love. You know what I mean? Like slave owners weren't whipping their own children, but they were whipping Black people, and we kind of twisted that into a form of love and like used Christianity to confirm it. And like it's just like if we looked at that a little differently and said we were surviving at that point, we can choose to not subscribe to that same method of life, and we can choose to live without these limited beliefs and habits that are detrimental. We can literally choose to live our own life. I started manifesting, and hopefully I don't offend anyone, but I was like, and it was so powerful. I was like, I'm gonna live with the audacity of a mediocre white man, and I'm just gonna accomplish whatever I want, and I'm just gonna have that audacity while I manifest. And I swear things worked so well. I was hopping into DMs, like celebrity DMs, like, here's my book. A lot of people were like, I'm telling everybody, like they were so excited. And I was just like, I feel like they live in a different reality, and it's so freeing. And we literally do not have to keep traumatizing ourselves over and over just because our family and our friends and social media says this is our reality. Like we can choose a different one, and I think it's long past due. Like I'm really sick of the narratives that we've had, and I think therapy would be a great start, because especially for the Black community, we've never had a moment of pause to like really have therapy and like heal our wounds. We've just been surviving. And so I think healing, going within, therapy, choosing a new reality, choosing to live in love, and releasing those limiting beliefs, living in a I am limitless mindset will really help push the timeline forward. So, and
living with the audacity of a mediocre white man.
Yes.
Another t-shirt from Destiny.
Honestly, like first I was like, okay, law of attraction, that's cute. So things were slowly coming. Then I was like, law of assumption, which was a little bit better. Then I was like, mediocre white man, let's go.
Law of mediocre white man.
Yeah. And now I feel like I'm powerful and limitless because I'm a vessel. That's like where I'm at now. But it's honestly so lit.
I'm obsessed with that though, because it's so true. Like I always saw men be unafraid, white men in my life be unafraid to like ask for a raise or ask for the promotion or apply for a job way out of reach, and it'd just be like, yeah, of course, no problem. And then I would just be too scared to ask for things like that, because I'm like, well, who am I to? And it's like, no, fuck that.
Honestly, women are much better at everything too.
I know. We really are.
So we deserve to have that audacity.
We run the households, otherwise they would fall apart.
My God. And we do it so well with grace. Like, have you guys seen the videos of guys putting on those, like, they get the menstrual cramps and then they're like,
yeah.
they can't even handle it. And this is like every month. This is normal.
We just go about our day.
Yeah.
in
And
our
handle.
pain.
Yes.
Nobody knows. Yeah.
Like, we're so powerful. They can't even. Not even close. Like, yeah. So I'm here for it.
So funny.
You touched on like the audacity of the mediocre white man. So I started doing that last year, not understanding,
Juliet very much embodied.
not
This
understanding
energy.
that that's what I was doing.
Uh-huh.
But that's exactly what I was doing. I was DMing. I slid into DMs and I got work.
Yes.
And it was just like, oh, it was that simple. Like I just had to introduce
Nothing.
myself and you know. Yeah.
A lot of people are just waiting for somebody to ask them a question and they're just wanting to help. But people are just so afraid that it won't work out or whatever. Like, they're not willing to do it. But a lot of, especially wealthy people, they have a lot of time and knowledge and they want to give back, you know? So, like, link up with them and show them you have that initiative to want to be better and, like, just dare to do it. What's the worst? They can say no. Find someone else.
I also I keep saying I also love that you said but I love everything you say.
Thank you.
Just how your description of like wealthy people want to give back, wealthy people
do.
want to, and I think as we grew up we hear, depending the household we grew up in, like we hear phrases like, you know, filthy rich or like rich people are greedy and they're selfish and all these things, and then subconsciously we're like, well, why would I want to be that if that's what I think that's what that means?
Oh my God, I love it here. Because let me tell you what I just read and it's changed my life. I was like, I read a book. It's called Love Money, Money Loves You. It's great. But they basically said, you're selfish if you don't want to make a lot of money. Because number one, money is unlimited. So, but also if you're not wanting, the people with the most money are the people that are the most creative. And that's like, we're supposed to be creative on earth. So that's one thing. But also the people with the most money are able to give and provide services or like pay for services. So they're paying for people's food on their table. They're paying for people's well-being. So the more money you have, the more money you can exchange around. So if you're limiting and hoarding your money, that's really selfish. And I'm like, come on, I'm here for it. Like money is limitless. It's almost like a form of energy, like based on what people believe they value. And so with this wealth gen thing, I'm like, right now, we believe we deserve chemicals in our food and chemicals in our products. And that's what's in our face all the time. So we believe we have a low standard of belief. But there's so much opportunity for people to say, no, this is high quality and this is what you deserve. And people will stand behind what they believe in and they'll put their money up, and because it's for a great cause. So I think, yeah, I'm not here for I'm here for the abundance and just get as much wealth as you want, because we're supposed to be having a good time while we're here, and you need money to have a good time.
I read in a book recently, the quote was, money is a moving prayer. And I'd never thought of it that way, because I think something that I've been working through the past year is like, it's like I'm a big save and invest, but I'm not a big spender. And seeing it that way, like, oh, it's safe to spend money because it's like you're giving somebody a prayer. And
wow,
I never looked at it that way.
That's deep. It is. And it's like you're literally putting your money where your mouth is. So it's like a full faith and belief in whatever that person is providing to you. I also feel like the greatest leaders are the greatest servers. So like, you should be providing a service. If you want in exchange for your money, you should be providing a service that raises the level of consciousness and like helps people. Like, and the more people you help, the more money you make. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think like once you tap into your purpose, which I think your purpose is to do what you want when it comes from a place of love, right?
Yeah.
And like that's the way that was the gift you were given to bring in the most abundance, and then like God or the universe or whoever you want to connect to out there like that's the tool that you were given to do that, and who are you not to go out there and make a fuck ton of money doing it and then circulate that back in and be a good boss and not a toxic boss, or donate to the places that are really important to you, or invest in, you know, the up and coming businesses that are going to make the world a better place. It's just like, hey, when you have a ton of money, you get to be the not root of all evil type of rich person. Those exist. Those bad rich people for sure exist, but like, let's go get some of their money and do good with it. Like,
and they've been doing so well because a majority of us are so afraid to step out of the norm. So like, they're able to profit off of our fear, which is why I think it's so imperative to break people from this fear survival mindset into because when you're in that mindset, you're using all of your energy towards just surviving and in your body, and you don't even have the capacity to be creative. And so that's the first step, is just breaking that mentality that we're in. We're almost in a trance, especially with like the news. When you're exposed to so much bad news, which, remember, the news wasn't always so bad. Like, the news,
it was only like 2 hours
I thought it was boring. Like, when I was a kid, it was like, oh, the news is on, and it would be like, constant. You know, a teacher won an award, a fire happened, and they put it out. Elections
like,
coming out. Like, it was
on the
boring.
news in my small hometown for like going to ballet camp or something. That was the news.
But it wasn't always bad. Like, it was like good stuff, some bad stuff, but like,
it was both.
But now, even before COVID, it's been so much bad stuff. It's just a lot of fear. But what happens is, when you are put into this fear mindset, you become a victim, and it's like you just want to survive, so you just become obedient to what you're told just to survive. And in that mindset, you can't be creative, like, you know, and that's where we're at. That's why I'm like, this wealth gen, I'm so excited for.
I think it really ties back to like what we started out talking about, is just the like, I am lazy and I want to make money being lazy, where it's just like, but that's a very abundant mindset. When we are in scarcity mode, we're like, I better work because I don't know when the next paycheck's gonna come, or if I'm gonna have work to do later or whatever. Like, the work more hours drive is very scarce. It's the hustle and grind, to me, very scarce. Like, you gotta hustle and put things in place, but then you gotta sit back. It's cyclical, where it's like hustle for like 2% and then chill out, and then when you chill out, that allows the creativity to tap in.
Exactly. And I think when you're hustling, like right now I'm hustling, but it doesn't feel like it because I'm enjoying it. So everything I do, I'm deciding to do with ease. Like, and I think if you're a creative entrepreneur, when you enter into your business idea with ease, like, first of all, the universe responds to that high vibration and gives you more opportunities, but also it's a red carpet is rolled out, but it's like, you enjoy every moment, and your business, it'll show in your business. So yeah, I think that's important. Like, hustle and grind, sure, but I don't look at it that way, even though technically, since I've retired, technically I'm working more than I was before, but it doesn't feel like work. It feels like I'm reading, I'm studying, I'm learning, I'm connecting with people, I'm networking, and I'm creatively producing this content that is going to help other people. So it makes me really excited, and I love to create. So yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about the Wealth Gen that you've mentioned.
Yeah. So WELLTHGEN. It's Wealth Gen. I love the name. I'm obsessed because it's almost like a wealth engine. It's also like particularly focused on being well, and then generational wealth and generating wealth, which is just creating. But yeah, so it's a product that I'm creating now, and majority of it is mindset. So basically everything I've been talking about, just written out so people can really absorb it. And then there's going to be business resources. I'm manifesting that I'm going to talk to the right people. So the top 1% that want to give back and can give people shortcuts to success. And then I want to have resources like how to file, which one to file, S Corp, C Corp, LLC, how to get business credit, how to create an app, how to franchise, how to license, how to patent. These are all things, some of these things I have experience with, but I definitely want to bring in experts to also give like detailed information. So, and then at the end, people will go through this course and then they'll have an opportunity to pitch their 6-figure business idea to me and my team of investors. And that way they'll have funding if they need it. Now, I do think a lot of businesses don't need funding. Like, lean startups are great, especially right now online. You don't need a lot of funding. But if you want to scale up to the level where you do need to hire out or have different services for operation costs, then I definitely want to help those people who are dead set on creating a better world. That's our whole mission. It's a community of investors and entrepreneurs who made it their mission to create a better world. And so we're kind of filling in that gap because right now the government and big companies, they have not addressed the problems. In fact, they've created them. And so I think there's a lot of power in people when we come together. And I think just empowering people mentally to think, hey, I do have a lot of ideas sometimes. And if I can have funding, then I have that space to be creative and try to help, because let me tell you, the people that created the problem, they're trying to leave Earth, honestly. Like, not to spark fear, but they're in a race to space. So we're here. I think we can create solutions to help ourselves, for sure.
I'm obsessed. It's like a spiritual Shark Tank.
Yes, it's Captain Planet meets Shark Tank, literally.
Which I'm obsessed with. Crying almost every episode.
Oh my gosh, I've just been watching Captain Planet. It's low-key, I'm upset, but it's fine. I feel a little gaslit, but they didn't know, so it's fine. Because back then they were like, I feel like we can make a change like as individual consumers, but honestly the corporations are the major issue.
Yeah.
So on Captain Planet, at the end of every episode, they're like, you can do this and this, and I'm like, yeah, but y'all need to talk to them.
I've been doing stuff. We need to build a new top 1% that controls everything.
Totally.
Start nudging them out.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm just like, hopefully they're on this podcast and we can find them, we can work together. Like, I'm excited for that. And I think people are so able to creatively come up with such crazy solutions that I could never do. And I want to find those people, and I want those people to wake up.
Yeah. Wake them up.
Well, we just admire you so much.
Oh, thank you.
And should we wrap a bow on this, or I don't know?
Yeah, we've been here about an hour. Yeah,
Has it been an hour?
We're here.
It's been an hour. Not that I don't want to talk to you for 12 hours, but I'm just so blown away. This has been such an empowering. It's been an hour of power.
Ooh! The power hour.
She's
brings me
good.
flashbacks to power hour in college when you would take. Is anybody following me on this, or is this a Wisconsin thing?
I don't know.
The song. Okay, we had power hours in Wisconsin. I think you can look this up on YouTube. The song will change every like 1 minute or 2 minutes, and then you have to take like a shot of beer.
Oh, that sounds lit.
And then it's like, that's the pregame. No one's following me. Like,
No.
no, Wisconsin is the whole.
I mean, you have to find entertainment, I'm sure.
level of drinking and entertainment. Never mind.
I love it.
If anyone out there can relate to what I'm talking about, Power Hour, comment below.
I love
I
it.
think we have a few Wisconsin listeners. Maybe they'll know. Or they'll be like, no, Sadie, that was just you and your friends.
We had the 8 clap at UCLA.
Yes.
That was
I don't know what that is.
You went to UCLA.
so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. UCLA, fight.
That's our shit.
But we didn't have a power hour.
No.
I also didn't participate in a ton of things because I was for reasons, but
Yeah.
it was a weird time in my life. But I did enjoy going to the football games and doing that little. I would bring my dad. We would sit together with all the kids. He loved it.
I love it.
It was fun.
I only went to one football game and I got so burnt. I was like, I'm not doing this again. I was like really hot.
Well, you look at me. I brought all the sunscreen every 20 minutes.
But I'm not like a football person, but I miss UCLA. It was a great
It's a beautiful school.
Yeah.
Where can we all find you, connect with you? I know everyone listening is going to want to run over to your website,
My
your
business
pages.
idea.
Yeah. Love it. I'm here for it. So yeah, I have a website. It's destinysays.com. Destiny is just spelled regular. And then my Instagram is Destiny Says with 2 underscores. I don't really have a Facebook, and Twitter is private, so that's it.
It's like, that's where I go wild on
Right,
Twitter.
that's in my diary. Okay, but yeah, that's destinysays.com. You can check out my book on there, and you can see if you would like to sign up as an investor or an entrepreneur and join the community. You can also sign up there and subscribe. And I'm currently building the content, so it might take some time, but in the meantime, just work on spiritually healing and thinking of a way you can create a better world.
Wow. We have some homework, you guys. Oh my gosh. We're so honored and so happy that you came.
I'm so honored. Honestly, like you guys, I was like, what? They like my energy and they want to meet with me? Because you guys see a lot of people.
We see a lot of people, but when you sat down before you even opened your mouth,
What?
I think we both felt we were just like this is, you have a presence.
Really?
And then I think we read you and then you said, oh, well, I just retired. And I don't even know if we looked at each other, but we energetically went like this to each other. I don't think we actually did it, but we both felt it. We were like, and then you got up and we were like, oh my God. She's so cool.
That honestly makes me really, really happy, because I was like, you guys are like so tapped in and you guys deal with a lot of different energies. So I was like, if they are complimenting me in this way, damn,
You're onto something. You're onto something.
Honestly. So yeah.
I could see you as one of the sharks. They should have you as one of the sharks.
I know.
Shark Tank.
No,
Listen
but
up.
they're low vibe. No, I love them. They're great. They've made it.
Okay, forget what I said. You're going to make your own tank.
Yeah.
Jellyfish tank. Squid tank.
Octopus tank. They're really smart.
Oh, yeah,
They're kind of
octopus.
aliens.
Oh, yeah.
They have like alien DNA.
They're so smart.
Yeah.
Anyways, follow us on Instagram. We're at Goddess Hangs. I am Sadie Olson.
At Juliet.Piper.
And one last time, at Destiny Says __.
Yes,
We'll
thank
link
you.
all of Destiny's information in the show notes. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Goddess Hangs. Make sure you're subscribed, leave a review on Apple, and we will send you a little gift. You just have to screenshot it and email it to goddesshangs@gmail.com.
Not Hotmail.
And one
I messed
episode
that up
she said
a couple
at
weeks
Hotmail.
ago.
Oh no.
And I think that's it. Did I say everything?
Yes.
Bye.